I actually have a contrarian take on filter bubbles. I actually think that they're completely okay if you can actually generate the Idea Lab content for tribe X or tribe Y in public, because then you can actually exchange those ideas, even if you're not necessarily having a direct conversation, because that tends to be less civil. So imagine just a hypothetical scenario in a couple of years here, where there are two major clients on top of Farcaster or a decentralized social protocol, right? Like just assume that we're all in kind of like one global commons for the social protocol. And you have team yellow and team green, and they each have very different politics, okay? When you use team yellow's client, you don't see anything from team green. Like, so if someone from team green at the protocol level responds with a quote dunk or whatever, and it's like, look at this idiot, or like blah blah blah, like tech bro like this, or like, you know, like blah blah woke person, or like whatever, like just all of that vitriol, you just don't see it. So what ends up happening is team yellow, remember all this is public by the way, is having their conversation and stuff here, and team green can go read that content if they want, maybe a different client or whatever, and then vice versa. And so you're going to have those like low rung thinking people who just all they want to do is actually fight online. Like it is just entertainment. Like that's actually what they're there for. But you're going to have the higher rung people be able to actually at least engage in those ideas. And this does happen on Twitter today. It just gets drowned out. And so a really basic example of this is Noah Smith. He has a no opinion on Substack. Like he kind of used to be within, I think, academia and or like traditional media. Now he's independent on Substack, and I think he's doing, from a financial standpoint, probably better than he's ever done traditionally in any of that stuff. So now he has a direct line to his audience of people. I personally don't agree with a lot of what Noah says. I think he's generally a little bit more left than I am on the spectrum. But what's fascinating about Noah is he in good faith intellectually engages with basically every topic that he writes. And I find myself, whenever I'm reading Noah, having to question my own set of beliefs because he's presenting an illogical and coherent argument, right? And so I think what ends up happening is if you can allow people to actually just express those ideas and engage in kind of whatever way they want, and somehow you can highlight the kind of higher rung thinking, even if we disagree, you're actually getting to an intellectual environment that's, I think, a lot more idealized. And the beauty of it is you just can drown out all the low rung thinking, and that can actually be a decision at the client level, right? So you can imagine you have the yellow client and the green client, and then someone chooses, I don't know, like the purple client over here, and the purple client just basically says, we're actually going to try to get the people from, you know, using AI, like super negative ad hominem attacks or whatever. We're just going to drown those people out, or just like they're using like swear words or whatever. It's just like, let's get rid of those. And then it's just like you're compiling what's actually happening at the protocol level between the people who are arguing good faith from team yellow and good faith from team green. And now you're exposed outside of these filter bubbles. You, if you choose the purple client, are exposed to a rich intellectual tapestry of all these different ideas. And we actually get to a much more idealized thing. But the key thing here is the people who build that purple client, they're free to go build that, right? You cannot do that on Twitter today. Twitter does not allow you to build third-party clients. And even if you go back to the regime that existed prior, where you could build a third-party client like Tweetbot or TweetDeck, or in a TweetDeck zone, Tweetbot or Twitterrific, you still didn't have access to the full fire hose. And so it's not like you could actually build some algorithmic feed that's trying to surface the best of Twitter. The best you could get is like who you were following. And so I think in a world where you assume that the kind of like substrate for what's actually happening in this kind of like public open discourse is a protocol, you are going to have a kind of marketplace of clients that can cater to different types of people. And I don't think you can actually go change human nature. So there are going to be people who want the blood sport that is Twitter, and like team yellow versus team green, and that's okay. But there are going to be a whole bunch of people who probably are interested in team purple because they're like, hey, this is actually great. Like I get exposed to the smartest people on the internet for free. And so that's like the idealized version of what we're trying to go build. Now, getting from 10,000 people in a crypto-centric network to kind of this like global public commons, that's a lot of work between here and there. And I mean, that's what we're trying to figure out.